All right, here is the new 2024 Alvarez mp66. This is like the mpa66 followed by whatever letters based on the paint scheme, except it's all there's no paint scheme, all mahogany, all solid. The changes from the prior version are, I think, both the bridge and the fretboard are now Indian rosewood as opposed to Indian laurel. The pins, I think, are supposed to be rosewood too, but I think they say ebony elsewhere. So decide whether Sweetwater's right or Alvarez itself. This is a slotted headstock version. It is a short scale, I think the 24 point something. Actually, I forget if it's 24 flat or 24.75, something like that. You'll have to look at the specs. Other nice thing about these is bone nut, bone saddle, right from the get-go. Neck. They talk about a V to a C. It's a very faint V. You can feel it, but it's very faint. I wouldn't describe the neck as skinny or thick. You know, maybe 59 specs if you're a Gibson person. So a nice, enough meat, especially with the V. It kind of lands nicely when you're cording up, doing your cowboy stuff. As you can see, one of my audience members left their chair the other day. What else? Let's see. Try to get this grain in the light. It is a gloss. I think this thing would look awesome if it was a satin. But this is nice too, and quite frankly, maybe gives you a little bit more protection depending on how thick it is. Buttons are already installed. There's one there. One there. Back is nice. Some nice figuring. It's supposed to be African mahogany. Depending on which model you get, or I got this from Sweetwater. I've seen ones that are very stripy. They have that inexpensive Sapelli look. Listen, sorry, don't mean to characterize it, but again, this is African mahogany, not Honduran. Although at least this piece looks very nice. What else? Tuners are fine. We'll see. I played the AP66 at a store, so I had a feel for what this would feel like. It had a lot of problems at the nut with pinging and tuning. This is fresh out of the box, within the last 2 hours. I'm going to do a string change anyway, but we'll say, there might be a little bit of pinching at the nut, which we'll see if some graphite takes care of that. But the work itself seems to be nice. And so, if you just have to open the slot just a tiny bit, that's doable. Fit and finish, I didn't find any flaws. Go back, the neck is a satin versus the rest of the body is a gloss. It has that Alvarez bridge, which is videos on that. The expensive ones, it's 2 pieces, and then there's like a rich light or something they describe, a base plate underneath that helps to keep them separate. But the idea is that you get a more severe angle, putting more pressure on the bridge. In the other videos for the Laureate and the upper of the Yari ones, it's a 2-piece, and that's supposed to get rid of bridge lift and I guess bellying, but it's a theory. But I like it. I'm okay with it. I've never I've never been like dying to get I wasn't a huge fan of the look of these bridges originally because I think they look like cowboy mustaches. But it's nice. I've gotten over it, especially with this finish. And really, this is a spec sheet killer because you got all solid mahogany, which I wanted to try. Bone, top and bottom, pins, short scale, parlor, slotted, the whole nine. So this is what I was looking for. And these are $7.99 new, shipped from Sweetwater, but you can actually get them for a bit less, shipped, taxes, all in total. The MPAs, which I actually went to go buy one and they sold out too quickly, they were clearing them out at $5.99. I guess it was model year clearance, that sort of thing. So, that same relative guitar, except for the Laurel fretboard and bridge. But yeah, so from a spec sheet standpoint, if you're looking for an all solid wood, mahogany, elongated body style, 12 fret parlor, it's tough to find where you're not getting solid, or where you're not getting laminate sides and back or something, or there's some Eastmans and there's some whatnot that are nice, but then they're 14 fret or they're long scale, and I really wanted 12 fret, short scale, slotted, all mahogany, etc. And it's tough to find that, especially under $1,000. It's they for enough money you can get anything you want. So hopefully this is helpful. I will say, out of the box, tone wise, it's got a lot of bass, and these strings are fresh. They're Elixir XT something or others. They're coming off. I'll be frank, it's not even worth doing a tone demo initially on this thing. Again, because the strings haven't even mellowed out yet. So you're just getting weird lows. And honestly, the highs aren't coming through enough, which is a little surprising, but we'll see. So I will do mic'd tone demos and whatnot. And I'm going to do a interior view to see what kind of work Alvarez is doing in this masterwork. So stay tuned for that. Only other thing I'll mention, as I probably said that a couple times, I don't have a whole lot of experience with acoustics. Let me see if I can get it. Fretwork is nice, and they're just very small frets, which feels nice, but maybe feels different. Let's pull out the big gun over here. Pull this guy out. 1 second. We got 20, I think 21, 22, something. Martin D18. And so comparatively, now that I have it out, let's look. So let's see if I can get this to focus. Let's zoom in. Difference is, see the sides of the frets? The frets are a little bit, I think, bigger and taller. Okay. And go back to the Alvarez. So two obviously totally different style guitars. The whole nine. These, if you can see it, the way the fret ends is they are not filed, I don't know, polished or whatever. The fret doesn't come quite as far to the edge. I don't know if I'll be able to pick that up. See if we can get to. So it just, the slope begins a little bit farther in on these frets, and they are definitely a little shorter comparatively. But again, for this type of guitar, you're obviously looking at Western Parlor style guitar, maybe that's that more authentic. So definitely this thing feels great to play. And is exactly what I want from a size standpoint, and is a nice contradiction or pairing to this big guy over here. But yeah, we'll see. And I'll probably do a comparison, which, as you can probably guess, this guy's got more bass than this guy does. But we'll see. We're going to put some Percy's, some John Percy strings on it, and I'm going from there. All right. Hope this was helpful. There'll be more. There'll be tone stuff. There'll be the insides. Sorry, there's no playing, and you're not gonna love hearing that part anyway. All right. All right.